Just start waving.
See you live.
Oh, yeah. Right, we're live. Do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, so we're back on the Make It Mastermind podcast. And again, today we've got more special guests. We've got Josh Warrington and his dad, Sean. Guys, thanks for coming on the podcast.
It's a pleasure.
Josh, again, thank you again for coming back.
Yeah, thanks for having me again, guys. It's nice to see that you've upgraded and you've gone on and
Things have changed.
You're building.
No, hasn't it, James?
Yeah, big time.
No equipment, no offices. It's good to see progression. Proud of you, boys. Proud of you.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been. When did we have you? When were we in? Were you October?
I think around 8 weeks, 8 or 10 weeks before the Carlframpton fight. So
Yeah, shit.
A lot has happened since then.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that night then. Talk to us about Frampton. We might as well, once we mentioned
Straight in.
it. Yeah, why not?
Straight in.
Why not? I was out in Leeds watching it, and
there?
City just stopped. City just stopped still. I was out with lads from football, and then fight started. Everyone just stopped. There was a few birds dancing and stuff like that, but
So everybody were aware of what was going on. Like,
few people
Where?
said, "Oh, there's some lad fighting," and then we just stopped to have a watch. Yeah,
Some lad fighting. Because we're kind of unaware, aren't we, of what's going on when we're in there, and it's amazing, really. I mean, after fights, what we tend to get is you get people coming up to you saying, "Oh, we had a party, and what we did was we ordered a load of pizzas and we got a load of beer, and we watched the entire show. And, oh, it was a night night, and then you get people talking to a pub landlord who said the same thing. Oh, we put a special night on for it. Roof nearly came off when he had him rolling, and
then we had a lock-in and got off his head and cowie.
and we're the locking. I wasn't going to mention nothing about that. You know what I mean? I'm trying to keep it civil, you see. No, it was a right night.
It was a good night. We want to build up the night with 2018. Obviously, a very big year for us as a team. Obviously, my dad, Johnny, whatever you want to call him, he's been called a lot worse. We've been there been together. We started together. He first took me to gym. He didn't really look after me in my first 20 so amateur fights, but then got involved, and then looked after the rest of my amateur career, and then been my trainer ever since. Obviously, 2018 were a very big year. Obviously winning world title at Ellen Road, and we were straight into the deep end with the fight with Carl. Now, many people were surprised. Why are you going into a fight like that? Why not have a steady defence? Just milk it a bit. Going in straight into a big fight with Carl, I mean, he's another level. I mean, we had it all again. I thought we'd got through that when we beat Lee. And the way we beat him as well. People started taking notice. He just started, perking up. People started listening to what my dad was saying. Started giving him his bit of recognition for his tactics. Yeah. But they're like, step too far, this though. Carlframpton is another level. He's a big name, a household name in this country. But for us, it's what we've always wanted. We've always wanted these big fights. So we take the fight.
Yeah.
Over in Manchester, massive crowd, a mixture of Irish and Belfast fans, a mixture of Leeds fans, and just general boxing fans. Hell of an atmosphere. And we'd worked on a few game plans, haven't we, Johnny?
We had. None of which were implied on that, just thought he fucking do what he wanted, basically, you know what I mean? But it looked good anyway, did it? So we'll go with that. But no, I think we always seem to be up against it. We're always underdogs. We're always on a lower level. I've come to know there's two things I've learned from this boxing game in all my years in it. One of them is that it's actually full of fucking bricklayers and lift engineers because all they're going about is levels. Another two, if you're from Leeds, you're fucking hated worldwide. No matter what language. Yeah. You'd go to a little island somewhere off China, couldn't you? And fucking you know what I mean? That's how it is. And it's true.
No, you're right.
It's true. It's so that's all things I've learned from boxing.
We certainly had a good night that night. I think
I did when I go in.
we're showing on the other side what we're able to do. I mean, we've been able to do that stuff in the first few rounds. That's what we do in the gym. We've done that for a year on end, and it was about when we get that opportunity, then we'll bring it. And we certainly took Carl's teams by surprise. I mean, I've heard interviews after with Jamie and Carl himself talking about their tactics, and they didn't expect it. You know, they said themselves they didn't expect the punch power, they didn't expect it to start at that intensity. Everyone knows they've got a decent engine, but you know, it's just turning up with the unexpected, and that's what we did. But you know, fair play to Carl and that, very respectful after, and Jamie, and we seem to have taken on, you know, a lot of Irish fans and a lot of neutrals, what probably give us a wide berth before. I mean, there's the amount of messages over social media, not just for myself, but for the team as well, you know, for my dad, in terms of a trainer. Like, it's like he's been a secret, hidden away in cupboard. I mean, it'll have to be fucking some cupboard to get him in live, but he's out now. He's exposed.
No, well,
not exposed like Operation U Tree, but you know.
It won't be that.
But he's out there, and then people know about his game plans, the way that he's with the tactics, and myself now. All of a sudden, I've gone from a lad who he'd be lucky to win everything. He does get a world title. I mean, it'd be a bit of a fluke all of a sudden now. Bloody hell, that Josh Warrington could be a pound for pound best. And now we're at a stage where, and I'm not talking out of term when I say this. We're in a stage of we could go on and create a legacy. We could create history. We could come out this when we finish, when it's all said and done, we could be one of them where, hey, that Josh Warrington, what a great British fighter. Used to be just like a Leeds or a Yorkshire or Northern fighter. Yeah. But the way that folk are talking about us now, I mean, over the last few years, we've had a few world champions, but we haven't had many unified world champions. No. Those who've gone to unify the division, it don't come around many that often. So we're just enjoying it though. We really are. It's all these big occasions, all these big nights, all these big fights. We just have a laugh and we enjoy them. I was listening to something with Steve Bunce and Mike Costello. They were saying, you know, the way that Warrington's team go about it. You know, it's just like they've always, you know, the last fight, big box office show, 20,000 in Manchester, and they were saying that it's just like it's something they've always done. We don't take ourselves too serious. What you see with us is what you get. You know that on that Monday, well, not that Monday, because Christmas Eve, but you know that he's going to Asda in his slippers a few days after. There's no airs and graces about us. We just say it how it is, and I think that's probably one of the secrets to our success, isn't it?
Yeah, do you know what? We definitely got that from you the first time you even came into the studio with the belt. You came by yourself, no entourage. But one other thing that you did say on the third podcast as well, that your dad's been a big influence on your mindset and how you go into the ring. So I want to ask you, so how have you got to that? How did you get your boxing knowledge, and where did that come from, and how did you pass that on to Josh from such a young age?
I didn't have any whatsoever.
So what was it?
I don't know. It's just a gift.
The Messiah.
I just see this bright shining light, and it all looked fuzzy when I woke up. It's
boxing guru.
In after when you smoke that funny stuff.
3 fights ago, professional men that have been heavily involved in boxing all their lives, pointing at me, saying he couldn't say "nah, fucking dog." The same people 2 fights later now call me a boxing mastermind, fucking genius. Boxing's boxing, isn't it? It's only a bit of boxing. And what it is this. I didn't have no big boxing background, but I knew how to not get chinned. Simple as that. And that's all it was. Any experience I had were purely playing about it. That was it. I was a doorman for a while. And I wasn't good at that either. No good at that. I used to get chinned on a weekly basis. And I thought, fucking hell, I've got to do something about this. So I had a little go, but not on the same level as these lads. What it is that necessarily top class fighters don't always make top class trainers, do they? And we see that.
No, it's like footballers.
It's like footballers.
Yeah.
Gareth Southgate, shite.
Yeah.
As a player.
Yeah.
Gareth Southgate as a manager. He's been a bit lucky, hasn't he? You know what I mean? But do you know where I'm coming from here?
Yeah.
Top class fighters don't always make top class trainers. There's loads of people in and around Leeds and Yorkshire, all over, you know, and they've been champions, but they've never trained a champion, you know. I think what it does, the advantage it gives you if you're not from a big boxing background, is that you tend to look at the wider picture. You don't look and say, this is how I would train, this must be right.
Yeah, you got a broader view on everything.
Most of all, it's about being good at what you do. It's about being a tactician, and it's like playing chess, which incidentally I haven't got a fucking clue how you play that either. But it's about putting a game plan together, a training strategy, you know. So that's all it is. It's not difficult.
I'd say, I'm looking from outset, one of his biggest attributes is he simplifies things. He simplifies everything. Yeah. Anything, not just boxing, you know, just any of the sports, you know, just any of the training and fitness. Anything he's doing, whether it's a bit of DIY, whether it's a bit of cooking, whether it's, you know, just going about your daily business, simplifies it. And growing up, I've seen him do that with so many things. In you know, just off the top of my head, repairing something with a car, or going about getting a job interview, just going about it in a simple manner rather than getting too technical. You know, we talk about you know, the visualization stuff, and like when you're talking about it, it goes really, really scientific. But again, that way he used to take me to the hotels and to the venues when I was a young amateur. You know, he didn't say to me, right, you need to do this because it's part of visualization and stuff like that. It would get me familiar with the surroundings and situations, but in its simplest of forms. Yeah. You know, when I used to say, why we're travelling all the way over to here, you're just getting used to it, you're just getting familiar with it, so it's not unusual for you. Yeah. I mean, now if you put that in a different term, it'd be like, whoa, now Sean's a guru. He's been working on this visualising mindset, but it worked. It certainly worked because I come away from, I've told you this before, I come away from that. I'd be sat in Bath that week getting ready for a fight, or sat in bed, and I know, you know, the venue where I'd be fighting, I know where I'd be staying, and then it's something I've taken from being a young lad all the way to where I am now in my career.
Yeah, I think another thing as well is that along the way I've never been scared to ask advice of anybody else. You get a lot of people in this boxing game and they think there's some sort of God. And they know everything there is to know about it. And I've never been like that. What I've done, if I've been unsure of anything, I've always sounded it out myself. I don't go on the internet. I don't do anything to do with technology. I'll pick the phone up and I'll speak to somebody who's experienced, who's been there and done it, and I'll ask their advice. And I might put that together with a bit more advice that I've had from somebody else. And then sit and analyse it and think, will that work? Might do. If not, is there an alternative? You know, we go into a fight and we can go into a fight, or I can. I don't load it onto him, but I can go into a fight with 3 or 4 different scenarios in my head and have an answer for everyone. Right. Which is usually enough. You know.
And like you say, you might not tell Josh this throughout the fight, and as things change,
that's right. Bring them in. Yeah, I'll bring him in, or I'll ask him to do something simple that it might not make sense to anybody else. I mean, you get, when we're live on TV there and we've got the sound boom over, I could be saying something to him and somebody at home I can see thinking, that don't make fucking sense at all. But I'll have a reason behind that. That might be my way. That's just how we communicate. We have our own way of, it's not coded as such, but it's just an easy, simple way that we've both kind of adopted over years of working together. It seems to work all right, don't it?
Don't do us too bad.
I've had many talents. Before I come here, I was doing my net curtains in my caravan.
Well, again, like, let's go back to that simplifying there. In that corner, you know, you have a minute, but really, you have about 40 seconds. When that bell goes, you've got to get back to your corner. One of your cornermen put the stools in. He's got to get through ropes, which can be a difficult thing from time to time.
Can take me fucking days.
And then, you know, you might have a lump on the bump. Cutsman's got to go to work. But in that 40 seconds, you're in them big environments. You know, like take for instance last fight. There's 20,000 in there. Hostile atmosphere. You know, it's full roof. You cut the tension with a knife. 7th, 8th round. It's already set off at red up pace. You're waiting for your second wind to kick in. Heart rate's going through the roof. You go back to the corner. You're going into the second half now. You want that bit of instruction. What could make a difference to that next round, to the next 30 seconds, or maybe to for rest at fight. But when you're tired and you're taking your drink and you try and catch your breath, you don't need to be overloaded. Because if you get overloaded, it goes in one ear, goes straight out the other. It needs to be short, simple, and precise. And that's what he does. He'll jump in. He'll say a few sentences, like he says, he might say a little bit of a coded thing. What we know, well, what I know what he's on about. So other people might think, what's he on about? Even if he might say two-phase, I know what he's talking about, like in terms of a movement. When he comes two-phase him and then out, and it's just simple things like that.
Yeah, little things. Reverse it down, one up, one down, reverse it down. You know, these are just things. It's not some sort of big secret code. It's just that in the gym it's easy because you do only have that minute.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like he didn't come back and sit and start like teaching me how to box again. Do you know what I mean? And the same, right, you need to go out and then throw this 15-punch combination because it's not realistic. It's not going to work. It needs to be something what you can look for in them 3 minutes. What can make a difference to that round? If he might say something that I've not seen, he's dropping this left hand, this side. When you see that opportunity, you know, come across something like that, and it does make a difference. And I think again, people are starting to see that now. You know, the little videos going out on YouTube and social media and whatnot. Yeah. So.
Yeah, do you know? Well, we've been such a, I guess, being an underdog beforehand to having the last 2 fights and things being flipped over, and even yourself getting a lot more recognition for what you've been doing with Josh. Like, how has that affected the game at all, or affected the way you guys?
I'm a good-looking fella as well, though. I think people are starting to realise. You know what I mean? It's not just about boxing, you know.
You get some magazine deals, and
you will be getting that Giacomo deal, Johnny. I know you will.
Yeah, I got a little one from up north from Maiden.
Yeah,
specialise in big lads' clothing, so hopefully they'll come back. Might go to auction with Giacomo. You know what I mean? We don't know, do we?
Yeah.
A few offers on the table soon.
He's got to speak to his agent.
I'll talk to the agent and see what he says. Like,
yeah, that's it. I was just gonna, like you were just alluding to, like I think now, and like you touched on in the last podcast, being an underdog. I don't think that's going to be a thing now, is it?
No.
Like, there's no way people are going to maybe underestimate your tactics or your boxing. It's not going to happen.
I don't know.
Do you think, are you actually excited to know that people are going in there and they're thinking, I'm preparing for a world-class fighter, world-class tactics now?
It goes from one extreme to other. I mean,
big swing.
Not to prayer when they beat him. And then you beat him. Well, he did all right with him, but not a prayer is he going to beat him. No, different level, different league. Now, we've got your man down the road there, Barry. Barry and Dom, Dick and Dom. You've got them down the road there now. And they're saying, Josh Warrington ain't going to win this because he's got a nice house.
I get my feet massaged.
He's got a nice house now, so he'll be sat having pedicures in his nice house and he's not taking us serious. Fucking hell. How ridiculous, you know? If you're going to come out with something, make it a little bit funny or something, not just stupid, you know.
Hey, I'll give you a spoiler here though. He said that, and fucking 2 weeks prior, I'd taken Mrs. up to Running Park for a little spa day, and whilst I was up there, I had a little massage. I had a fucking pedicure.
I told him, I said,
I've got spies in camp.
Fucking spine. I said,
I come home, my fucking toenails look fucking lovely.
Don't worry, you're going soft. Honestly, they give it away with fucking nail varnish. Like, you know what I mean? But it's gone from that now to we've been massive underdogs. Oh, he won't beat him, all the way through. We've won all them titles. We've done it hard way, done it traditional way. So now, we're actually not the underdog, but what we're getting from him now, like I've just said, is he's comfortable now. He's not hungry anymore. He's got a nice house now. And have you seen his house?
What's that got to do?
No, exactly. They think that what we're going to do now is because it's only Barry from Sheffield, which it is. But because it's only Barry from Sheffield, we're not going to take it serious. And it's chelping away. There's all this drugs thing, this drugs cheat business.
Yeah.
You don't even acknowledge it. I mean, what I'd be doing if that were me, I'd be saying, you know what, I did it, and I'm fucking so sorry. And I'm here to put it right, and I want to show people I'm best in the world without taking performance-enhancing drugs. But he don't. He goes, looking at his trainer, am I allowed to talk? And he's tapping him out back. Shh, don't say no, Barry. Don't smile, Barry. Don't do this, Barry. Don't do that. I said, fuck me, stick your hand up his back, see if he still works. Can he talk or what? I don't know. But it's like, he's just coming out with ridiculous stuff. Josh Warrington smelt the balls. Oh, for fuck's sake. He's done it like a kid at playground. Like a kid that's been pinching sweets, isn't it? He's been caught. Gets his hands wrapped. He don't fucking do it again. What he does is, diverts it onto somebody else.
Yeah.
And that, for me, I've lost all respect for him.
Childish, innit?
Yeah,
And all it wants me to do, I mean, you've got his trainer offering people out in crowd.
Yeah, that was funny, that.
I mean, it was funny, actually. Do you know something? I actually find Dom all right as it goes. I think he is quite funny. Tries to be like serious, but he is quite funny. Do you know what I mean? And his brother John, I get on with him really well. They have helped us out in past. You know, I think it was a scouting mission, letting us have somebody for sparring for Selby, but they did help us out, and I'll always be grateful for that. But I'm just a little bit disappointed in his behaviour, you man there, Barry. Just trying to divert, he smelt the balls, and you'll keep off that marching, but man, fucking hell, come on. Yeah. Have a word with you, then. I was shitting this, and I thought I missed out on a fucking party.
Did you go out without me?
Hell, has he been having fucking parties, and I'm sat home, bad shitless, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
He's out smashing it up, raving and that.
That's my goal when I retire, to be as big as Johnny.
Might as well. Why not?
Yeah.
I lost lately.
You can't lose any more. You'll miss that Giacomo deal.
There you go.
Well, that's why I've stopped, you see.
Yeah, you
I've
go.
not been well.
There's a prime weight.
Well. I've had a few hours.
Oh, you do look a bit peaky. You do look a bit
I
peaky.
look a bit peaky.
Yeah,
That's because I haven't had a drink yet.
Yeah.
It's late in the day. I have to come here instead. No, I've had one or two little issues, you know what I mean? He calls me Johnny Type Tool now. That's my new nickname. Fucking Johnny Type Tool. I've had a bit of trouble with the...
Look at him, fucking hell, giving it all that sympathy one, like it's. I'm being nasty in that.
Oh, you are. Yeah.
Is this live on the internet? I'm going to get this one out. Everyone's going to feel sorry for me.
I've been at doctor's today as well for a prostate check. So he says, it's just... I said, where shall I put my underpants? He said, on chair next to mine. I thought, fuck that.
What doctors are you going to?
Yeah.
Thing is, he's going on a weekly as well.
Fair play. Fuck me. That's thrown me off, that one, definitely.
Yeah, it will do. But you know how I felt? He went out and another bloke come in and says, oh, he always said I'm doctor. I thought, fucking
Yeah, he's here all week. Johnny Vegas.
That's it. Fucking hell. That's it though, with that presser, you just stole the show. I mean, Barry, kid, whatever you want to call him, he didn't really talk, did he? It were a strange presser, really. It was just all, it was one way, he didn't really talk, and then
it was odd, wasn't
it? It were you and Dom, really?
Well,
and you were,
obviously, you really know what Dom were trying to do. Dom were trying to divert the heat off of Barry. You know, if Barry were just left to his own devices, he can't string a sentence together. And the lads in the crowd would have ate him up straight away. So Dom tried to divert all the attention off of Barry onto himself. But you know, you're wafting flames there, because you know it just animates everyone even more. Yeah. And when it comes to, you know, the final week of open workouts, press conferences, stuff like the final press conferences, you know, they're going to be even more animated, and it just makes them more fired up for the fight night as well. You know, I can see what he's trying to do, but it has an opposite effect. You know, he's trying to die that fight out, but it's just the flames are getting bigger and bigger, because they're going to build an even more hostile atmosphere. And it's like we were talking about over there in gym. You know, if you wouldn't have gone about it in such a disrespectful way, maybe you could have took your eye off the ball a bit. Yeah, it's only Barry. But the way that, and the mannerisms building up to it, you think, there's no way letting him have an easy night. How disrespectful. Because people have over the last 12 months have started like getting to know what Josh Warrington's about. May have had this perception. They've seen me before the Selby fight, you know, quite animated in the build-up, quite animated in the press conferences with Lee. Obviously, a lot of sportsmanship shown between myself and Carl, and then again, quite animated with Barry. The thing is, our 28 fights, in them 28 fights, the only one where it's been quite animated is Lee, and that's because it was personal. Up until that, I've always shown respect to anybody, and certainly him. He's always gone over and spoke to trainers and spoke to opposite fighters. It's just where we go about our business. You know, you're getting in there, you're having 12 hard rounds against each other. You know that the other man will have sacrificed and gone through an hard camp and whatnot. You're going in there to give it your all. So that should be enough. But when it starts going beyond the sporting line, then I don't want them to just sit there and take it. I'm going to give it back.
Yeah.
And obviously that happened with the Lee fight, and it's what's happened with this latest one. But it's like all of a sudden, he was the bad guy going into it, and because we've given him a bit of stick at the press conference, all of a sudden he's victim. Do you know what I mean? But we just laugh, don't we? We just laugh and just carry on going with.
Boxing's only a small part of your life, you know. Well, you didn't think of it now. It's a massive thing. Everything's circled around and centres around this boxing.
Well, that's it. Well, maybe even after the fight, people are going to tell a completely different story.
In 5 years. 5 years. Well, how old are you now?
28.
28. Well, I don't know. Depends how much I've got. But I think he'll be done by the time he's 42. Definitely. I know. Send him on a bit of a journey, man. Then.
When we know it's around back of my fucking head.
Boxing's a very, very small part of your life, and it is. So I don't hate anybody, and I don't dislike anybody. You know what I mean? There's a few people I think, oh, you're a fucking prick. You know what I mean? You get one or two of them, but you do anyway, don't you?
Yeah, it's life.
Yeah, it's life.
Anywhere you go, yeah.
Yeah, neighbours and stuff like that. And we'll have that way. It might be waiting for me when I get away with a fucking big stick.
Windows might have been bricks when you get home.
Behind my caravan. No windows in. Council board in my fucking windows. No, God, yeah. Anyway.
Seen you on YouTube.
Yeah, seen you on YouTube, you know what I mean? No, so we... I don't really take it too seriously, you know what I mean?
No, we always try to have a laugh. That's one thing we've always done. Boxing is a serious sport as it is. You know, the fights alone are serious. Fight nights can be serious, intense. But we always have tried to have a laugh from the camps. You know, all the way throughout the camps. You know, even on fight night. I mean, perfect example. 2015, we've come through the rankings very, very quickly. We turned into a bit of an household name and started getting a lot of attention off of national newspapers, national radio stations, and profiles going through the roof. And we've got Vinnie Jones doing ring walk, and we're warming up in background. Fucking Vinnie Jones walks in. He stood there in his underpants and a fucking vest, looking like Jim Royal off at Raw Family. Tea stains down it, kebab stains down it, and his Vinnie Jones walks in. And what does he turn around? Not embarrassed, not ashamed. Stands there, legs open wide. Vinny, how about a cuddle? Come here, come and give me a cuddle. He's fucking, you know, the character like Vinny, you wouldn't have thought he'd be so surprised, but he was shocked, he was speechless. But you know, it's like he's probably coming there thinking these fellas are about to go fight, but that's how we always have it. We always have it relaxed.
I thought Jamie Peacock was a fucking security guard. Because I tell you what, it's not disrespectful. It's just that you're that switched on in the last few weeks up to a fight. You do get a little bit blinkered. Everything else, you just focused on that and making sure you've covered everything. And he was sat there for a good half an hour. With Jamie, before I thought, what fucking security, man. You know what I mean? Good lad, though.
But yeah, we always, you know, little message, yeah. We just always try to keep it on the light side. And I always used to say to me as a kid, gotta have a fucking laugh a day, Johnny. Why didn't you just call me Johnny then? You just call me Togger. It's a nickname for having a big head.
Gotta have a laugh.
Gotta have a laugh a day. You don't want to lay it on your deathbed.
Makes life easy, you know. Have a bit of a laugh.
Laugh a day. You don't want to lay it on your deathbed thinking, fucking hell, what a miserable life. I've always taken that with me. I always try to do that, even on harder times. Try to have have a giggle or have a laugh in whatever circumstance, because fucking someone out there a lot worse off than you. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes you don't appreciate what you've got, you don't appreciate where you are, and you think of fucking hell, the little list of things you get worked up about. But then a lot of charity stuff I do, you go down to hospital, you don't have to go down to LGI, Children's Ward. Yeah. You know, spend an hour on there and fucking hell, don't have to put life into perspective. So yeah, just one little thing from there is Johnny's have a laugh a day.
He's like Tony Blackburn, isn't he?
Oh, charity work. I'm not bad, am
I? Since you've mentioned this, what kind of charity work have you been able to do then since?
Anything to do with kids, you know, especially just because I I always look at like kids should be out, playing about, whether it's swing slides on the computers or whatever. They shouldn't have to be worrying about cancers or being in hospital. So I've done a lot of work with the Candlelighters Foundation. Absolutely fantastic what they do. I've done a lot with the children's art ward at LGI as well.
Cerebral palsy.
Yeah, cerebral palsy. SNAPs, special needs. I've got a sister who's autistic. One of my younger brothers, Max, is registered special needs. So I've done a lot for them over years. So just try to branch it out. I mean, I get told all the time off of people who look after your profile and stuff. You need to just cut it down and stuff. But I can't help myself. If I'm in a position to help people, then you will do. And he's same. We just go out way. I sometimes call him a modern day Jesus, because he does what he can to just help folk out. And it's you give, and it all comes back round. And we don't even do it for that. You just do it fucking good for the soul, innit? Good for the soul.
Good for the soul.
Yeah.
For the soul.
You got to look after each other, though, haven't you? I think that's the main thing. Like,
hallelujah, praise the Lord.
yeah, big time.
Yeah.
No, that's it. I mean, it's come up on the podcast. We say it's natural in people to it's hardwired in people to want to care for people generally. Like if you see someone struggling, like most people's first reaction is to kind of want to help them. So and using your profile responsibly to go and spread the word, raise some money and do some good things. I think it's great. Like more people should do it online, because a lot of people want a big social media following, don't they?
Yeah.
And then they just to go and sell like some fucking diet tea or some shit. Do you know what I mean? Make a bit of cash. Yeah. And really, you need that responsibility to go out there and do something with it. I'm
probably opposite to what folk are on social media. So you have people with so big social media, they're active on it and they're messaging to every person who comments on them. But then they see them in the street and they don't talk, or someone comes up to them and says hello and it's just shrivel back. But I'm opposite. I'm not as active on my social and then speak to every single fan what comments, but if there's a fucking queue of 200, I'll make sure that everyone gets a picture and everyone gets for at least 5 minutes. Yeah, probably installed in from
everybody.
From him.
Always kids.
It's just
kids.
It's just always the case, because the people make you, and you don't realise. You just go about your daily business. But many times I've spoke to people, whether it be, I don't know, walking down White Rose Centre, someone stopped you. You've just had a picture, or you shook somebody's hand, had a bit of a chat, and you get a message. Few days later, you made me weak. I've been going through an hard time, and it's that little difference. You can make a massive difference to somebody's days, and it's like fucking hell, you don't realise the power that you have. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like being yourself, really.
It's nice as well. I mean, today the guys genuinely didn't know. There's 2 guys in. You can advertise, Chiltern Mills.
Yes, shout out whoever you want.
There's 2 guys in Chiltern Mills at Cross Gates, and they're building wardrobes up. And they genuinely didn't know I were there. And they were talking about him. And the nice thing about it is that they didn't know who I was. And I were round the other side, they couldn't see me, going or out. And it was nice to hear them saying something nice about your kids, because it tells you you've done a decent job then, you know what I mean? And it was, I won't tell him what, because he'll get all big-headed, but it's pleasing, and that's as important as the boxing. People, I bet you're proud of him winning a world title. I'm more proud of how he presents himself, really. I was going about his business from day one. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Up until now. So it's not just the boxing. Well,
you said before, like, boxing's only a small part of your life. So, you can be proud of being a world champion, but if you're a cock for the rest of your life, then
it's
maybe
like
it's not as impressive, is it? It's
like I says, if you want to box, you need an education. Because not everybody makes it. We thought we were going to get to British level. He decides to be a what is it?
Safe maker.
Dental technician.
Tool fairy.
Tool fairy.
Too fairy.
I mean, that didn't pan out so well, because I'm fucking still haven't got no teeth.
He didn't hook you up, did he?
It's shocking. I'm still
ours are bad though. We get shit for ours, don't we? We get shit for ours.
You want to watch him try and eat a steak? Fuck me, that's hilarious.
He's sat there with a fucking degree in how to make them. And I'm sat there like a squirrel trying to get a fucking pork chop down to the bone, you know what I mean? It's not happening, is it? Sat there like that, on my pork chop. Fucking hell, that one out today. I've had it since last Thursday. Taste gone now. No, it's nice when people acknowledge your kids, not just for boxing, but for how they present themselves. And and things I do. You know what I mean? It gives you the feeling of
doing a good job. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what everyone. I don't have kids, but I guess that's what you do want for your kids, isn't it?
Well, I won't fucking bother, to be honest, if I knew how much it was going to cost me. You know what I mean? All my pals now, they're in Thailand and America and all over the place, and I'm stuck on there. We're putting nets up in my fucking caravan. You know what I mean? Because I had so many kids.
It's a giggle, isn't it? We have a laugh.
Oh, we do have a laugh, though. Yeah. We have a right laugh. Even in training, don't we?
Yeah.
And some other fighters, it's other fighters that we have that we work alongside and other lads in the team. It is just a good laugh from start to finish.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. There's over years, fucking hell, you work with people know if you work with your family members, you're quite close. So if you're like just pals, even best of pals, you might not say absolutely everything that you want to do, but when it's family, everything comes out.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, me and him, we've had some bardies, but we always get the job done. And once we have done, everything's forgot about. You know what I mean? We don't dwell on anything. There's no fucking hidden animosity up like that. No. It's just sometimes tensions get a bit out. We say our own point. Obviously, he's made me similar to him, so he's a proud man. He's strong in his opinion, and that's them traits have rubbed off onto me. And when we go to it, then that's it. But when we get that win, it's all a bit sweet, you know what I mean? And everything's forgot about.
Yeah,
we'll move on to the next one.
Yeah, and like I say, when you move on to the next one, do you treat every fight differently, or will you go in with the sort of same mindset, or will you look at every fight completely differently depending on who you're fighting?
Well, we've kind of got a bit of a base in terms of fitness and conditioning, how we keep everything structured. I'm one of them where I realise it's not a long career. I ain't gonna be going out like Barry says, fucking get on piss and marching powder. I can do that when I retire. I've always had that mindset where I know it doesn't last forever, so why not give it your all? You won't see a footballer putting on 20 stone in between pre-season and the season, would you? No. We're professional athletes, and I'm at the top of my game now. I'm not about to let that slide for people to pat me back and give me free bottles of Sambuca or whatnot in free New Yorkers in neighbourhood.
There you go.
You know what I mean? I'm not about to do. I can do that. I can do that. I can do that when I'm retired.
Sorry.
I always keep myself fit, and then as we get into gym, we get a sniff of a fight. We'll start getting a date and whatnot. That will turn into technique work, and that's when he'll start studying opponents, start coming up with the game plans, and then start enforcing them into the gym. Just not like hours and hours of loads of technical stuff. It was just little bits here and there. And then by the time we get onto sparring, we start trying them out in that. He organises the sparring partners. He organises what kind of training we need for, the certain fights. For instance, the Selby fight, we knew we were going to be at times a bit physical. Selby's known as a big featherweight. Yeah. We didn't think he was that big, but if it does get rough and tough, you've got to be able to throw him about, be a bit physical, earn his respects. So the training we're tailored around there. He's like the top of the tree. He tells the strength conditioning coach what he wants to do. He tells the pad man what he wants to do, and he looks over everything. He gets the sparring partners in, and it just goes from there. But that always differs for what opponent we've got stood in front of us.
Yeah, that's it. So you just have to have that respect. So everyone you say this, and this, they go off and do it. No questions. That's what you need, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, early days that it was a little bit awkward because you could see it look on the face thinking, oh fucking, what does he know? I've done all right up to press, so I'll just fucking bear with it, you know what I mean? But now we're where we are, it tends to be a little bit more, okay then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not just on about people now. I mean, it's Leeds' first ever world champion, and
yeah,
it's a long time. Is that isn't it? First ever?
Yeah.
It's not first ever world champion in the last 20 years.
First ever.
It's like first ever.
Yeah, it's
so
class.
We must be doing something right. You know what I mean? And, you know, let's not forget, he weren't a top-level Olympian. He weren't even an England squad boxer. I think we boxed for Yorkshire twice, didn't we?
Mm.
We never won any prestigious ABA. We got robbed once or twice in junior ABAs with politics in amateur boxing. But I think we have done it hard way. We've done it traditional way. We've ground it out. I mean, we have made a lot of sacrifices, and now we're kind of getting a little bit back, aren't we?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Reaping the rewards, as I say.
Yeah.
Reaping the rewards.
Reaping the rewards, and it's nice to see. I mean, it's nice to see. I'm not like, but listen, I'm one of them where I'm not very material. I like my toys, you know what I mean? As in...
Sex toys.
Not sex toys.
Blow up dolls and that.
Tease you straight up there, fuck's sake.
Fucking got
Even that even stopped him talking. He's like...
My camper van. And my caravan.
Yeah.
And my fucking bit of fishing, do a bit of fishing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. You know what I mean? Because I'm not having to kill myself in a taxi 18 hours a day anymore. I'm not having to work on a pub door. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, so it's nice. I still do my little part-time job. I still work part-time for council.
Doing your bit for community.
Doing my bit for community.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
With,
What are you doing with the council?
I'm a passenger transport assistant and a driver. So what I do, I just do a little part-time job, a few hours a day. Transporting special needs kids and special needs adults with physical disabilities, mental disabilities, you know. I don't even know if I've worded that right, because the very politically correct council is you've got a list of things you're allowed to say and not say.
Got to say in a certain
Can't
order.
say handicapped anymore. Or you can't say suffers. It's like lives with and...
Ah, right, okay.
You know, it's all,
yeah.
They know anyway, I don't mean normalis.
No.
But no, I still do that. I like doing that. Stops me having an extra drink on the night.
You got to get up.
Out of bed on the morning. So it's nice, yeah. Steady away.
Yeah, that's it. Do you know what though? It's class to hear you talking about the things going forward. So like looking at pound for pound now.
Yeah.
Because I looked at, I think it was like Max Kellerman put out his pound for pound the other day, and I was like, do you know what? There's no real reason if you don't go, you turn over Barry, and you go out there and you beat a Valdez or a Santa Cruz, and then there's no questions. You keep that and then you, who can dispute it? Coming out of England, who's really done that? No one really. So you're on the kind of it feels like you're on the cusp of it, really. Like 2 or 3 wins, and
believe,
it's class.
And I'm not just saying this because we're here, and everybody, when they get their opportunity to shout out, they do. But I've said this all along. When we've had a British title, I've said, we'll win a British. I said, but we'll go a bit further than that. We'll just do this one first.
Yeah.
And I've never ever thought that we'd fall down. And as we sit here now, I honestly do believe that we'll unify. We will unify.
Yeah.
One's a bit first one ever to unify the whole lot.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in his prime now. He's just hitting his prime years, isn't he?
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. It's all about timing, isn't it, boxing?
Yeah.
You know, so I think we will go on and unify.
I massively believe in that. I believe it's I talk about destiny. I talk about paths to be. I just think little things what have happened in my life have always been leading towards this moment. And I've said many times in different interviews, I'm not one of them kids where when I first laced gloves, telling everybody I'd be a world champion and stuff like that, because we didn't know what road was going to take us. And it's been a long, hard road. And I'm 10 years of pro this year. Notes being handed to us. It's been hard and a long, hard road, chipping away, consistency, having to deal with setbacks, but just grinding and getting there. And now we've reached that level, top of the tree, world champion. And I don't feel satisfied. I know we don't feel satisfied. We want more. We're not just like putting our feet up. Right, we've done it now. We can take our eye off the ball. That's not happening. Yeah. Now I put some up online the other day about the Ring magazine. Our proud moment for myself having a big article in there. A magazine read all over the world. Features only the best fighters, the world champions, the big names at sport. I'm proudly sat there, number 2, just behind Leo Santa Cruz. Yeah. And if I fight with him, and I genuinely believe I can beat Santa Cruz. I genuinely believe I beat any of the featherweights in the division
within
at this moment
reach
in time,
now,
the
innit?
champions.
Yeah, it's so
It's
close.
realistic now.
Yeah.
It's not a young jumped up kid who's just won a
Just talking.
title talking shit anymore, is it?
No.
It's real now.
Well, you go
And
win it, and then you go and defend it against, Frampton.
And
It's
that's credit to
big
everybody
statement,
who's followed us. Everybody who's followed us. Everyone who's come along buying tickets. I know a guy who was supposed to go get some electric on one of them token things. He fucking bought tickets with it. Didn't get no gas or electric.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was going without for a week. So he could go out fight.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And he never said up to me himself. I found that out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
That's
all them people, that's what sets them apart in Leeds, these Leeds
and
people,
that's,
you know?
and I think that's what it goes round in a circle. That's why I think we're very, very grateful, because we do realise that without the people behind us, we won't be who we were. All the fellas who drive down to Ellen Road in the fancy cars who play for the team, they won't be players without the fans who pay the hard money, who support the club through thick and thin. Get the season tickets and that. And I think we realise that we're no matter how far we'd go, if we were ranked in top 10 pound for pound, unified featherweight champion, I don't think we'd ever, lose our touch with the folk, because I was just, we constantly amongst them, and we it's been an hard road, and we remember just have to look back and make us realise, and it does put you back in down to reality. I don't know if I mentioned it before the last podcast. It might have been after, but I had a fella come round who'd been supporting me since I won British title, sort of like 4 or 5 years ago, and lad over from Hull, Ted they call him. I'll give him a mention, and he always goes ringside for fights and whatnot, then travels over from Hull and always makes a good weekend of it. Goes to Leeds game and like I say, gets his hotel, goes out for a bite to eat. Always gets his missus and his lad tickets and whatnot. No matter what price it is, he'll pay it. And I don't think he was gloating. He was just doing a bit of calculation of supporting.
Cancel holidays a lot, don't they?
Oh, over last 4 or 5 years, it spent 27 grand in supporting us.
Fuck.
I mean, if I were to pay back every single fan who supported me over the years, then I'd be done. But it's also the time. I can never pay back time. And
I think you should. I paid him his gas and electric. It cost me 70 quid. I'd get Ted up phone. And on the phone we've got Ted.
Caller number one.
Please give us your bank details now. But it's just like, that's fucking amazing support. You know what I mean? It's like you don't realise. I mean, some people might think, of course they're gonna support me. I'll just get a bit carried away. But I'm like fucking sat there thinking about it all night. There, like, wow. You don't realise that most people are spending their hard-earned money to come and fucking
exactly.
It sounds like you two have got like a good recipe for. I don't know how you make things work. Like the first time you came in, I remember you said where you were building up your fan base and you'd go into pubs and talk to folks, and that's how people got to know you. And it feels like these people have just followed you through, and it's compounded.
Yeah, it's right.
It's
like they've got like common interest. I've said many times, it's a little bit like Atom back in these days. Once they got the personal touch, it's not they're going to support that object, that thing, that Josh Warrington as a just a name. It's the pal Josh Warrington, the name. It's why when press conferences come about, a lot of passionate people turn up, and they will be vocal, because that's a fellow who they've had a cup of tea with, or had a good chat with, or sitting down at one of the Leeds games, and just being approachable, really. Or he's invited round for fucking Sunday dinner.
Well, no, we do on a Sunday, don't we?
Yeah, but you have had some very, very random folk in your kitchen on a Sunday. Yeah, well, no, he's a bit of a cook, you see.
Oh yeah,
yeah, he's a bit of a whiz in kitchen.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's a bit of an open house on a Sunday, so family.
We'll get you a dress after we go off air. We'll pop round.
I don't wear them anymore. A dress. Oh, sorry. I thought somebody fucking told them then.
Someone texted me before you came in. Can't say it.
Yes, so
exposed.
we get that where a lot of people just call in on a Sunday.
Yeah.
What are you making? Well, fucking, it could be all 3 or 4 different lots, you know what I mean? But then, it's a bit of a point for people wanting to see him, you know what I mean? I go on, come down, he'll be there Sunday. So they do come down, they'll have 10 minutes chat with him and they're off, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we get a lot of that, though. We've always been very, very approachable. And we should be, because we still live there. I still live there on D-Wing. You know what I mean? In mate's council house. Because he won't pay me properly. I still drive a fucking 16-year-old motor because he won't buy me one.
Yeah, but you got a fancy caravan.
I mean? But I've got a nice caravan. No. Listen, it's about knowing where you're at, innit? Yeah. And that's where we're at. And it's a laugh every day. Yeah. I'm going in Asda earlier on. I'm famed for going in Asda. I use it as my corner shop and all. And I could hear somebody shouting, Johnny, Johnny, Johnny. And when I turned round, it were 2 kids, and they're like that. So I went like that, fuck off. And they went, yes. I went, bastards. I think that's going to be next. They're shouting stuff, give me a bit of abuse because they wanted me to say, I'll say, fuck off. Which I did.
I've already said it when.
And that was it.
When old Johnny Type 2 croaks it, on his headstone, we're going to get last seen in Asda, because the amount of fucking people that'll come up to me wherever I am. Hey, I've seen you, old fella. I don't even have to say. I said, let me guess, in Asda. Yeah, fucking hell, yeah, get a pint of milk. He's the only man who can go into Asda for a pint of milk or a loaf of bread and spend there. He can be in there for a fucking hour or so. He's like, you coming with me to Asda? Fuck
when you just nip in, jump in car in your slippers, fly up to Asda. I think I'm only grabbing one thing.
He turns into a social club though.
I'm only grabbing one thing.
He'll be there.
Everyone knows him there.
He'll be there at fruit, talking to Jeff, who we haven't seen for 20 years. Then he'll go over to milk. He'll be like, fucking, he'll get a member of staff because milk's a few days out. Then he'll go over to check out. He'll be chatting up bird behind counter. Hey, oh, you're a darling. I remember you when you were younger. You know what I mean? Like, it just goes round everybody.
How are you? I'll tell you proper reason now. Because we've got that many kids.
Yeah.
And grandkids. Do you know what I mean? That's what it is. I'm always in there. I use it as my local shop.
I like it. Always having fun, man.
Yeah, it's class.
You've got to, haven't you?
Yeah, big time. Do you know what I wanted to mention about? We were chatting before. We went for a bit of food before you guys came in. And we were saying, I was saying to Julian, would you go out to the US if Josh fought out in Vegas or whatever, make a weekend of it? And I was thinking, do you remember Joe Rogan were going on about McGregor, the Irish fans? I was like, do you know what? It'd be sick for the city to just have, for the world to see Leeds fans in a different place, because it'd be like, one, where the fuck is Leeds? Because if you go on holiday, it's near Manchester, because no one fucking knows, do they? Yeah. So I just think, it'd be class for the city to even get that exposure. Like, you'd be carrying a full, a force of people over there. They'd just see something like they'd never know, would they? Like,
most definitely, and that's another reason why that spurs me on. You know, and it's not some of that I'm fucking singing out La La Land. It's in touch and distance. I can make it reality. Yeah. You know, you must take care of Barry, and you're looking at like unification fights over Vegas, Madison Square Garden, whatever, against another one of the champions. It can be done. It's like
it's in arm's reach.
It's in arm's reach. Like 12 rounds. It's 12 rounds away. But like, we had a little taste of going away. I just won European title. Excuse me. And before we boxed that show in Leeds where Vinnie Jones did the ring walk, we went and did and we had a little 8-rounder just to take over fight, because there was a bit of a distance between the European title fight and the fight in April. So at the time we were signed with Eddie Hearn, and he gave us a little takeover fight over in Berlin, and about 500-600 lads came over with us. And it would have, for them, a lot of lads my age, probably just a little bit too young for the Champions League era, following Leeds United. And it's like a massive lads holiday, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's like a massive. Everyone look. I mean, the banter starts as soon as you walk out your door and you say bye to your missus or you bye to your parents, whatever. You know, they're travelling down to the airport, the flight over. I mean, that Berlin trip. It would an 8 rounder against the me ticking over just against a journeyman. It would have just I stopped him in 5. It was just a steady away fight, but they travelled over like it were a big world title fight, and the amount of stories I've heard and memories what were made from that one trip. Yeah. And I grew up watching Atten and watching Joe Calzaghe.
That's it.
And I went over to Vegas to watch Carl actually box Leo Santa Cruz in the rematch, and I remember being there on the strip and just having a little minute. One of flyovers going over fucking 20 lanes of traffic, and I remember just looking about, and there were quite a congregation of Belfast fans and Irish fans and Carl fans all there in the green shirts and whatnot. I remember thinking, you know what, I'd love to be here. What Leeds just give them that togetherness. A lot of them, my fans are Leeds United fans, but it'd be their little away day. You know what I mean? It's to be the excuse to get away and support one of their own.
Oh yeah.
Going all over the world in stuff that they've only seen on telly. Like them big venues at MGM and the Vegas Strip and stuff like that. Being able to do that while watching the PAL fight, and it's about making memories. Obviously, you want to make a bit of coin, but you want to make these memories, stuff what people talk about for years to come. Hey, do you remember back in the day when we went to watch Josh fight in Vegas? You know what I mean? It becomes like legend, it becomes like folktale, and we're in the position to do so. Yeah. Often we chat and we think, fucking hell, it'd be nice to have a double one night and just be able to see it from crowd's perspective. But I guess someone's got to do fucking hard work, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's fucking. I really hope you get there. I think we'll probably definitely.
No,
we're committed to it now, but we'll
get there. It's a short life, and you're making memories. You make memories, and you want to be part of this journey when it comes about. Listen, the Leeds boxing is booming. There's loads of young kids who are getting into it now. There's loads of fighters who've turned pro, who have got the potential to do things, and it's at a very good stage. But whilst this wave's still going, I realised over the last few years, you've got to fucking just enjoy it, because it's over like that. So just enjoy all these little moments, build up these little memories, and yeah, man.
Yeah,
build that legacy now, though.
We're deadly serious about that, about the unifying, and we're not looking past anybody.
No,
certainly not looking past Barry, but he's in the way of what we want to do.
Yeah.
And we're going to get him out of the way very, very convincingly. Because when I say genuinely doesn't belong there, he don't. If he'd have been a doctor, he'd have been struck off. If he'd have been a lawyer, he'd have been bad. Whatever, he'd have been over and done with. If he'd have been a copper and you pinch a bag of sweets out of Tesco, that's it. Career's over, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It shouldn't even be. It should be bad. Should have been bad. You know what I mean? Why has he got an opportunity when somebody more deserving hasn't?
Yeah, that's true.
That's our only grief with him. You know what I mean?
But he's standing in way.
But he's standing in way,
and that's where we're looking.
And he's put himself in that position, and we'll deal with him. We won't deal with him any less than we've dealt with anybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, he is seriously with how he behaves and how he puts himself across. Particularly trying to divert. It's bad enough when you do something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you're getting caught shoplifting, blaming, put it in your pal's pocket, innit? And he gets blamed. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Have the guts to say, just people have a lot more respect for you. What they think about him now is that he's just sly and he's a slink. You know what I mean? Because he tried to divert it straight when you'll keep off that man. Oh, yeah.
Just adds to animosity. We just adds
to animosity, and it makes us. You know something? We may have. I'm not saying we will, but we may have just not paid quite as much attention as we did to Selby or Frampton. We may have just overlooked one or two little things. We may have just taken him lightly, but what he's done now is he's fucking switched us on.
Yeah,
and that's going to stay there now, and I'll be working on that harder than I've ever worked on any other fight. Trust me. He's put himself now. He's our Santa Cruz now. Yeah. Right. That's what he's done to me now. He's our Santa Cruz. And it's not the fact that we're with it. It's the dishonesty. I don't like liars and I don't like people that try and deflect onto somebody else. He hasn't even got the guts to turn around and say to his trainer, can you shut your fucking mouth and let me speak? Because he hasn't got the balls to do that. He hasn't got the balls to turn around and say to his trainer, like, shut your mouth, I'll deal with this. His trainer's there saying, shut up, buddy, don't talk, don't smell, don't do this, buddy. And he's going, all right. Fuck me. How's he going to have the balls to stand in there 12 rounds?
Well, that's it. His character flaws might show up in the fight. You know,
in that atmosphere as well. It's going to be.
It's all right when you beat. It's all right when you're beating a mug up. If you look at his previous opponents, write them down. Go on internet later. Anybody who's watching this, go on internet later. Write down all his opponents. Have a look at the records. Have a look at our opponents. Have a look at their records. It's a different ball game when you're in a real fight, which he's never been in yet, when you've been provided with people that are just there with a pair of gloves on, walking down for you to beat them up and make you look good. It's a different ball game to go from that to world level. It really is, you know.
Go on, Johnny's fired up. Yeah. He's fucking going to get his shots on in a minute.
He'll start cutting weight and get in there with him.
I'll play shadowboxing tonight when I'm drunk in garden.
No, that's class, man. That's it.
Well, that's it, boys. Well, that just tops us over our mark.
Oh, fucking hell, I was just getting into me groove there.
I know, just gone and gone that real quick.
That's it for next week.
Have you got a final lesson, little word for the listeners, a little bit of philosophy? You've always got a
bit of wisdom.
A bit of wisdom.
Few words of wisdom.
Don't say don't eat yellow snow because it's fucking not snowing now. It's going into summer.
Well, I don't know. Really. I just talk sense all the time anyway, don't I? I'm full of wisdom, Johnny.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
What I would say is, anybody, whatever they do, if they enjoy it, make sure you enjoy it.
Yeah.
The business will come later on. By enjoying it, you'll get good at it, stick with it, grind it out, even when things are not going so good. Just follow your dreams, follow your passion. And keep that drive going. Enjoy what you're doing. Everything else is a bonus. But more importantly, make it a fucking laugh.
Yeah.
That's what it's got to be.
I love that, man.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Fucking enjoy yourself, innit? Right, cheers, boys. We're out.
That's it. Thanks for coming on again.
I think we're done, yeah.
Anytime.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much for everybody listening and fucking watching.
Cheers.